This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh man, look at me all decked out. I got the bling on. You know what I'm saying? It was a night of nights for the Padres at home at Petco. Petco was a vibe tonight. The Pods were a vibe tonight. Jackson Merrill was a superstar tonight. Michael King was really good tonight. The Padres were very good tonight until the ninth inning when Robert SUAREZ was not good at all tonight. His worst outing of his career, worst outing of the season. 4 straight walks, comes in, blows a save with a 2-run lead. Yes, I am, in case you're wondering, talking about Robert SUAREZ. How this all happened, I'm here to tell you. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, and I am here with your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, your Padres, every day. And right now, it's one of those nights where you're like, yeah, my team. Yeah, it's my squad. It'll be all right. You know, SUAREZ is never going to do this again. You hope that it doesn't get between the ears because, oh, Lord, we don't even want to put that into the universe, even though I just did. All right, first things first, I Gries freaks all the honeys. I mean, come on. Dummies, Playboy bunnies, those want money. I shouldn't say that with the Diddy trial going on, but what I should say is that the Padres lost 9-5 to those nameless. I mean, what do you call these guys? Is it the Los Angeles Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Anaheim Angels, the California Angels? What in the world? I mean, the identity crisis of a baseball organization beat you tonight, 9-5. And here's the thing that happened, okay? And I'm going to get to this in the show, but it's all SUAREZ tonight. It was all SUAREZ. He just couldn't throw a strike. What did they used to say when I was a kid? He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That was him tonight, man. And, you know, you left him out there as long as you could. If you're Niebla and Schilt and you're like, yo, man, we got to have this guy on point all year long. We don't have Tanner Scott anymore. For some reason, Jason Adam walks every leadoff hitter or every time he pitches. And, hey, he was amazing tonight after he walked the leadoff hitter, just striking dudes out and mowing through them. Great job by Adam and the bullpen. And tonight, we're going to get into some numbers about this bullpen, just how good it is. We're going to talk about the historic night. Man, the 5-tool player that is Jackson Merrill flashing most of those tools tonight. And if you didn't see it, man, you got to watch those highlights. You are in for a treat. And like I said, want to thank you for making us your first watch/listen every day. Myself and Javi Reyes, we were texting during the game, Locked On Padres podcast host, and man, just one that you don't want to see happen tonight. Usually the coolest entrance in baseball, Robert SUAREZ. Lights out, baby. It's all done. Vamonos, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And nope, not tonight. Not tonight, as it just goes to show you in this cruel sport of baseball, momentum is only as good as the next pitcher. And that pitcher tonight was Robert SUAREZ, and it wasn't very good. So thank you for making us your first watch listen every day with Padres Postcast and Locked On Padres Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're free on YouTube right here on your Locked On Padres podcast channel. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube, check it out. Please give us a subscribe. We're also available wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe there too. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it. And you download OTT. Yeah, you know me. It used to be OPP, right? But I'm 53. So now it's OTT, over-the-top television. And it is I blew that one. It's free on Roku, too. I was trying to do something good, and it didn't work out so great for me on that one. Kind of like the Padres at the end of the game tonight. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. Padres Postcast tonight is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year with Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jeez, let's get this intro over already, Jim, and get the show started. What do you say? Let's go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I mean, look at me. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. No, but seriously, look at me. I mean, look at me. I'm all decked out. I got the bling going. The Pods were up 5-3. They got their insurance run. Jackson Merrill did everything in the world in this game to win it for the Padres. I mean, good Lord, he did every single thing. Now, the offense wasn't great tonight. Make no mistake about it. Michael King did not have his A stuff, but he was getting the crap squeezed out of him by the home plate umpire. And by the way, while you're here, Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Gries _ on social media. How would you not want to follow a guy with blinged out teddy bears on a one monarchy? Shout out Vegas. But what I'm saying is, you know what? this team tonight, I mean, it was an entertaining game, and Michael King was getting squeezed by the home plate umpire. Even the 2-run homer that he gave up early in the game was the result of a walk that was complete trash. The home plate umpire squeezing the crap out of him. But he was doing it for both sides. And the Padres did benefit from that offensively too. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Neto was great tonight for Anaheim, and it was the grand slam in the top of the 9th inning, man. Ward hit it. That was a tough one for Suarez, you know. Taylor Ward's grand slam made it 9-5 after Suarez walked 4 in a row. Career high 4 walks, all in a row for Suarez. 2 in a row. He hadn't walked 2 in an inning this year. 2 in a row. And then bang, 3 in a row. And then bang, 4 in a row. And they had to take him out. He still only had 1 out and the bases loaded. And what happens? Impossible situation for Jacob to come in, and Alec gives up a grand slam to Taylor Ward, makes it 9-5 Angels. 9-5. And King pitched great tonight. Ton of strikeouts. The Padres pitchers had a ton of strikeouts again tonight. Lots of positives for this team right now. And yeah, you took 2 out of 3 in Denver. Offense went crazy. Historic looking numbers there. And just not able to get it at, going back at home offensively to mash tonight. They just did not mash. While you're here, please hit that subscribe button, especially on YouTube. Smash that subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we're coming your way with more content, the alerts, and you can do that with all your podcast platforms too. And then, of course, on Roku. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, not to be confused with Javier Reyes. He hosts Locked On Padres podcast. I'm Padres Postcast, same channels on everything, same squad, whole squad on that reel, but it is what it is. And he does the daily show day in, day out, and I do the shows right after the game. But thank you so much. The numbers are exploding. We really appreciate you here. And a lot of that we know has to do with the way this team has been playing. And tonight, I don't want to focus on this for too long because and it's Suarez. And closers, man, they're a fragile breed. Pitchers are to begin with. Sometimes mentally. Sometimes they're so mentally tough, you're not going to penetrate. Like Mariano Rivera could give up the Gonzo hit, could give up the Alomar home run, and he'd still be fine, right? Trevor Hoffman gives up a big game-winning homer. He was fine for the rest of his career. That happens sometimes with guys like that. They're always going to get you. Someone's always going to get you at some point when you're a closer in Major League Baseball. And you got to be Teflon, right? Bulletproof. They got to bounce right off you. If you're Suarez. Hey, you're going to come in the game with an entrance like that. You're going to be as great as you are. Look, I have to feel like the dude's going to be fine. And if he's not, you still got Jason Adam. But that's why last year's embarrassment of riches worked really well. And it almost got him a World Series. If they could have gotten past the Dodgers. And the Dodgers aren't even a real baseball team. And I'm a Yankee fan growing up. And I'm saying that. They're deferring money till they're going to be paying Ohtani's grandkids. It's ridiculous. So anyway, tough. And these pitches from Suarez were not even close, yo. They were not even close. They weren't even tempting, a lot of them. And a couple times he got bailed out with hitters swinging that stuff upstairs that was out of the zone. Just didn't have it. Hadn't walked back-to-back hitters all year, but I still say I like the way Schilt left him out there, let him fight through it in May, because in October he's going to be in an inning like this regardless, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, and you'd like to see Jason Adam clean it up a little bit too, walking the leadoff guy, but you strike out the next 2 guys and just go through them like a hot knife through butter. You're good there. But the Taylor Ward grand slam after the 4 walks in a row, I mean, you knew it was coming, didn't you? You kind of knew it was coming. The Angels for years are known for getting that big hit, clear the bases and whatnot. Love the numbers spiking, by the way, guys. Really appreciate it. Hey, come on in. Let me know what you're thinking. We'll talk live right here in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about tonight's loss, 9-5. The homeless, nameless, identityless Angels of Anaheim, Los Angeles, California. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that's funny that they've had 73 names in their history. And, of course, I'm being facetious. But, man, was it fun watching Jackson Merrill tonight, guys, or what? I mean, I don't even have to look at the box and go through his numbers, but what a night. What a night for Jackson Merrill. He has 7 straight games, multi-hit games now. He's 3 for 4 tonight. 2 runs scored, an RBI, legged out a triple, then scored on Bogart's sac fly in the bottom of the 8th to make it a 2-run game, to put the stamp and accentuate the Jackson Merrill game. This was his night, man. He had a couple of singles and a triple, no homer, no big power numbers or anything like that, 1 RBI, but he did extend to 7 straight multi-hit games. But what did Jackson Merrill do tonight? There were 3 plays that he made. First of all, legging out the triple and then scoring the insurance run. Of course it was appropriate. Man, I get mad just thinking about this because Suarez just blew the Jackson Merrill game. Like, he owes him like $10K. Straight up. He owes him something. A Kobe steak, like a 12-ouncer, A5, something like that for spoiling that, because this was the Jackson Merrill game tonight. He ends up with the triple in the 8th, scores on the sac fly. But how about when Jackson Merrill gets going on the base paths? goodness, man. How about when Jackson Merrill gets to play in Jackson Merrill baseball? And Fernando homered tonight, by the way. And I think that that's really, outstanding. He's doing great right now. And I love the way he plays the game. He's a perfect leadoff hitter with power, with pop. Dropped a fly ball tonight. Rare in foul territory, right? But rare for him. And where are we at here? Okay, so it's 2-0 Angels, and it's the bottom of the third, right? And King, again, he got squeezed on a walk, then gave up a 2-run homer, and the Angels are up, right? Because the Angels they got their runs in the top of the third to make it 2-0, but the Padres would come right back, and we're going to hit the break right after we go through the scoring summary. But man, oh man, you know what I mean? What a nice inning for the Padres. They come into the inning down 2-0, and right away you get a ground out from Lockridge, you get a fly out from Tati, 2 down, right? Nobody on, and this team is special. And when you have a special team, you get rallies like this with 2 out. You get a rise with a single to center, the 3-time batting champ. Hello, let's go. You get Manny Machado, who's balling. He's got a 12-game hit streak right now. Manny's doing everything. Just being Manny, playing winning baseball, then going home and looking at the city from Coronado, at his pool. But you know what I'm saying? So it just was Machado singles to center, a Rise who read the ball beautifully as it dropped in, because it was pretty high line drives, rope, but a Rise reads it perfectly, goes to first and third, and then, there's an error, which is pretty interesting, right? Because the throwing error and the ball gets away. Jackson Merrill scores from first base. Head first Petey into the dish, Pete Rose slide. Head first Petey into the dish, and bang. The crowd's electric. The night's on fire. What a play by Jackson Merrill, scoring from first on a throwing error on a single. Just unbelievable. Just crazy, right? Jackson Merrill singling in Luis Arraez in that inning. And then Machado scored and Merrill scored on an error. And this is throwing error by Kikuchi, which is interesting when Bogarts comes up. That's the one that we're talking about here. Bogarts right out in front of the mound. The ball's thrown away by the pitcher, goes all the way down the right field line, and Merrill comes down and scores. That was the one that I'm talking about. He was off first base on that one, and the pitcher fields the ball, throws it to first, but Merrill never stopped. Like, the ball is tapped back to the pitcher. Merrill never stops. He keeps running from first the whole time. The ball's thrown down the right field line, and Merrill comes in to score. What a beautiful play. Head first slide, pumps the fist, the whole thing. But how about with the glove? 2 diving catches in the outfield tonight for Jackson Merrill as well. And, they took the 3-2 lead in that inning. And, of course, who scores the go-ahead run? Jackson Merrill. Tatis hits the homer, makes it 4-2. The Angels score in the 6th inning to make it 4-3 on a fielder's choice, and it's 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. You got Estrada's in the game, and then the Angels in the 7th. Estrada's still in the game. Morejon comes in the game. Good, all good, all good. Padres not scoring, though, not adding any runs. And then Jason Adam comes in, walks the leadoff hitter, who is Moncada, who walked earlier in the night. Well, he's got a good eye. And he was, I believe he was the guy on base if he wasn't forced out when the homer was hit by Neto earlier in the game. But then unbelievable, right? So Adam comes in. He walks the leadoff guy. He's been doing that a lot lately. They go, here we go. But what a nice job. Strikes out Soler, strikes out Ward, and Darnaud grounds to short. There you have it, 4-3. Hey, you got the lead. You don't even need to score. You got Suarez coming in, right? Nope. Well, you did score in the bottom of the 8th because you know who. Action Jackson, baby, with a triple to lead it off, and then Bogey with the sac fly. It's 5-3. And then you have a 2-run lead for Robert Suarez, arguably the greatest closer in baseball. And I've been saving these notes for the entire show. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Got to hit a break. Look at these numbers. Bullpen ERA. Look at those numbers. The Angels with a 6.90. The league average is 4.06, and there's the Padres at 2.94. Now, that's before the game. That's going up over 3 tonight. But who would have figured, isn't it ironic, don't you think? Who would have figured it would be the Padres bullpen that would blow the game? 9-5 final. Paz lose to the Angels in the series opener. Dylan Cease, who dealt last time in New York against the Yankees, will take the ball tomorrow. But a brutal loss. Robert Suarez blows a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 9th, top of the 9th, walks 4 guys in a row, and then Alec Jacob comes in and gives a grand slam to Tyler Warden. Just like that. Shout out to my guy, Mike Goldberg, former voice of the UFC. Just like that, a 5-3 lead turns into a 9-5 loss. And yeah, that's baseball, man. This game will humble you. And Mud and Donnie and these guys say it a lot on the telecast, man. This game will humble you. the very next day, the very next inning, sometimes the very next pitch. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 9-5, the final tonight. The Angels beat the Pods. It should have been the Jackson Merrill game, and that's the type of player when you win awards, when you have career accolades, when you go into the Hall of Fame. They show the video of a game like tonight where he didn't homer, didn't have an extra base hit until the 8th inning. When he legged out a triple, ripping one down the line, had a couple of singles and an RBI, run scored. Just the Jackson Merrill game. 2 great diving catches in the outfield. More on those when we come back. But first, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Got a couple of great deals from incredible sponsors for you. We have the best companies in the world lining up at our door to get in here. 220 plus shows. They want to get at you. 9 million plus impressions in a day. The numbers are not lying. All right, we're going to hit all that on the other side, plus the star of the game, the turning point. And you know this. It's Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm Grease, your team every day. And I get a chance to talk to you about Monarch Money as soon as I reopen the spot, because I closed it after I did the title spot in the beginning of the show. You know, when a camera's in your face for this amount of time straight every night and you got to do all the production yourself and you're an old head, you know what I'm saying? Or a boomer, as my kids call me. What am I, an old head or a boomer? They go back and forth. But regardless of what your age is, regardless of what your generation is, and regardless of what your situation is, hey, you check your bank account and you wondered at some point, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, right? We all do it. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Yours, right? Just like your team, your finances, your money. Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth so you can buy shirts like this. I'm just kidding. All right. But you do get surprising insights, and that was funny, from Monarch Money, right? Like when I started using Monarch, I realized I'd never be able to afford a shirt like this again if I keep spending like I was on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and I save more. There's a ton of convenience all in one right here with Monarch Money. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, even plan long-term goals. I love it. Managing money with your partner. Easy collab is smoother than ever. You can track your shared and personal accounts. You can set goals and you can stay on the same page without the stress. Well, that's kind of up to you. You can stay on the same page without the stress unless it's self-induced. There, we'll put a B on that sentence. We'll compound that sentence, and you know what I'm saying? There you have it. All right, so take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year with Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And yes, we're also brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. I love them. They're one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving, 1 ounce, has 6 grams of protein. 6 grams in 1 ounce, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and the better for you unsaturated fats. Hello, we're in California to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I'll tell you this. I like the no shells variety just from my lifestyle. Like if I'm chilling and just eating some, I'm like, but if I'm on the go like I am a lot, perfect grab and go snack is the no shells variety. No matter what, I get that quick protein boost, and they're always my go-to. You know what I mean? And I love that they're the complete protein. All 9 essential aminos. And again, how many grams was that? 6 per ounce. And it's all 9 aminos. Are you serious with this? And how these little green wonders pack a protein punch. And then you get the grab and go ease with the no shells, the satisfying of the shells. And that's more like this. There you go. So whether you're running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more about Wonderful Pistachios on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go. All the production, baby. All right, we got a couple of things to do and a short time to do it in. 9-5, Padres lose to the Angels. Robert Suarez, 4 walks in a row in the top of the 9th inning. Alec Jacob comes in, grand slam to Ward, who ends up winning the game for the Angels. It was Taylor Ward. I was going to say Tyler Ward. What's the difference? Tyler, who cares? Unless your name is Taylor or Tyler, and I don't mean to offend you, but I mean to offend him because he hit the grand slam that beat us tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I mean to offend him very much so. But 9-5 the final. You know, you got a 2-run lead going in the 9th. Jackson Merrill, 2 incredible diving catches in the field, scores from first on an error, diving into home plate head first, triples to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning, scores on a sac fly from Bogey. 3 hits, 7th consecutive multi-hit game. Good God, Jackson Merrill, what in the world is with this dude? He is unbelievable. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. And you know what, man? It's not going to happen again this year. Ever, for that matter, that you see Suarez do this. And this is going to be one, though. You think about it, if they're out by a game at the end of the year. Every game matters. There are no throwaways. I always hate it, and I've been a sportscaster for 35-plus years. I always hate it when people just sit there, and whoever it is, your favorite sportscaster, your favorite coach, your favorite GM, your favorite player, whoever they are, if they say this, they're stupid. And that is when they say, oh, the late games in the season matter more. Oh, man, we got to really hunker down. We really got to be ready for that stretch run. We got to be on our game now. No, you got to be on your game all year because every loss matters. You lose by a game in the division to the Dodgers. Does this night matter more or less than anything in August, September, October? Hell no. Miss me with that crap, man. That doesn't even, you know what I'm saying? No. Every loss matters. And when you have a 2-run lead going into the 9th inning, statistically, you win 95+% of those games. And you got to win it. You got the best closer in the game, one of them, one of the 3, right? One of the 3. And Merrill gave you that game. King battled through. Michael King was terrific tonight. All right, well, real quick, before we hit the turning point and the players of the game, I just want to give you a quick peek into the box score for the Padres. Tatis had the homer. He was 1 for 5. Arraez 1 for 4 with a run. Machado 2 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. He was on base 3 more times tonight. Manny flashing more leather, too. What a run he's on. A solid pros pro. Manny Machado, you forget he's been in the big leagues since he was like in diapers, Manny. You know what I'm saying? All those years in Baltimore, the quick cup of coffee with the Dodgers. I don't know why I had to bring that up. Anyway, Merrill, 3 for 4, 2 runs, an RBI. Man, oh man, he's hitting 457, guys. That might be a 6. I'm 53. And then Bogarts had the sac fly RBI. Sheets was 1 for 4. Lockridge 1 for 3. They were 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position and left 5 on base. Michael King, because all you want to be is Diggy down. Down with the King, 5 2/3. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. They had 16 strikeouts as a team tonight, the Padres. And then Estrada pitched a scoreless inning, and Morejon pitched a scoreless third of an inning, and Adam pitched a scoreless inning, and then oh, boy. I'm going to give you Jacob's line first because he gave up the grand slam, and it was only 1 of those runs that was charged to him. So he got 2/3 of an inning, got 2 outs, gave up 1 earned run, gave up the homer, the grand slam, and all that. But to Robert Suarez, this is a killer right now because his ERA went all the way up to 3. It was like 0.50 coming into this game, man. You feel bad for him. He only lasted a third of an inning tonight, a third of an inning for Robert Suarez in this game tonight. He gave up only 1 hit. Man, this is brutal. 1 hit, 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, 33 pitches. All right, you sweep it under the rug, you throw it out with the bathwater. What I never understood any of these old sayings. Throw the baby out with the bathwater, water under the bridge, whatever it is. Sweep it under the rug. Just forget about it, Robert. Forget about it, bro. It's over. It's done. You got to get back out there and do your job, man. But you can't be losing games like this tonight. That's a brutal loss. Just a brutal loss, man. You just can't lose. I mean, it's bad. I'm rose-colored glasses. You know, Obi Trice has a line in a cipher, $1,000 shades I prefer to see the world through. Well, my $1,000 shades, my version, is rose-colored glasses. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see the world through. But man, oh man, you got to win that game tonight. I mean, this in many cases, if someone else were doing this show, it might have been a hatchet job. It might have been a rip job tonight. And it might have been justified tonight for Suarez. You come into the game like that, You know what I'm saying? You come into the game like that, you're open. It's open season on you when things don't go your way. That's the sport we love. That's, you know what I mean? And I love how Barry Bonds says that, if you showboated like they do now, you'd have one coming in your ribs. Now they're like flickering the lights with LEDs. Baseball's so much better than it used to be, and I'm a lifelong fan. I just love all that. So anyway, yeah, the Padres are still, they're a game and a half behind the Dodgers. The Giants are 2 games behind them because the Giants lost again tonight. Arizona beat them. And what's his name, man? Oh, man. Why am I losing my mind here? Give me a second. I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, no, wait. That was the other day. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. The Dodgers were off tonight. Okay, that makes sense. And then the Giants Diamondbacks game. Let's see what happened there. It was, oh boy, wow. 2-1 Diamondbacks. 2-1 Diamondbacks. What a nice win for them. Keep the Giants off your back. And Corbin Carroll, 2 home runs in a 2-1 game. 2 home runs in a 2-1 game for Corbin Carroll. And there you go. Like I said, I'm live with a camera in my face. If I have to look things up, I got to do it. So no real damage tonight, although you had the opportunity to gain a game, and you lost it. You know what I'm saying? So that is brutal, and you're still a game and a half behind the Dodgers. All right, real quick, couple of quick things to get to. Not much time to do it. The numbers are through the roof. Thank you from me. Thank you from Javier Reyes, your host of Locked On Padres podcast. He does the everyday show. He's got another great episode dropping tomorrow. In fact, let's take a look. Let's promo this for Javi for you real quick so you guys know what's coming up with him tomorrow. Episodes. Let's get ready for the next episode. Hey, listen to Javi every day. Oh, you like that, right? You like that. All right, so the biggest surprises of the 2025 San Diego Padres season so far, that'll be running in a couple of days. You got that coming. You got Locked On MLB, the game night show. You got me with the postcast every night. He's got the mailbag show that he just did that's up right now. So thank you. The numbers are going through the roof. Thank you for watching us here on YouTube. Thank you for watching us on Roku, with OTT. Yeah, with a shirt like this. Used to be OPP. Now it's OTT. I'm watching the Roku. But it's also free. We are free and cheap and easy on Spotify, on Apple, on iHeart, on Stitcher, on Podbean. So wherever you follow us, wherever you subscribe, let's go. Let's keep that tide rising. Petco's, man, you got to be on a waiting list just to be a season ticket holder. It's the dopest stadium, the dopest environment, the best food in all of Major League Baseball. And this year, one of the best teams. But I hope we don't see another SUAREZ meltdown. And I hope even more so that this doesn't creep back into his head come October. The great ones have that ability, and it's part of true overwhelming greatness. I call it overwhelming greatness because it overwhelms everything in its path, including the yips that you might get mentally. Look, John Smoltz spent his whole career with a sports psychologist. Second baseman like Steve Sax, remember up the road with the Dodgers, all of a sudden Chuck Knobloch, they couldn't throw the ball to first anymore. Cronenworth had a throwing error tonight like that. Reminded me. Easy double play. Didn't make the play. Didn't make the throw. And, man, they had this game. They should have won it. But what a game for Jackson Merrill, which reminds me, I have 2 things to do, and I'll sit here yapping all night.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yep. And it was right here. There it is. The Angels of Anaheim, of California, of Los Angeles, of wherever they're from. Man, oh man, Taylor Ward with the grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning. But that was the exclamation point of the turning point. You know what I'm saying? That was, take that. It was that. But it was SUAREZ blew the save. It's a tie game 5-5 when Jacob comes in and Ward hits the homer to win the game. But before that, Robert Suarez came in, the pomp, the circumstance, the lights, the whole thing, the music, everything's amazing. Yeah, right. He walks 4 in a row, leaves the game in a 5-5 tie and a home mess. He takes away Jackson Merrill's night. And look, that's what you sign up for when you're a closer. That is what you sign up for. By the way, while you're here, please subscribe, smash the bell so you know when we're coming your way with more content. And make sure you do it on all platforms. I mean, wherever you are, whenever you want us. We're on YouTube, we're on Roku, we're on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. One more thing to do before we get out of here. Let's do it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And I'm going to throw an honorable mention to these two cats right here because look at these guys, man. Is there a better 1-2 punch in the game? Yes, there is. I know. But not by much, if there is. And you know what? I'm grudging on that. Begrudging. So there's Tati homer tonight. Look at those batting gloves. He's just a badass dude. Look at Manny rocking the Jordan brand, and MJ going to be on NBC coverage when they go back to NBC in a couple of years. How about that? Michael Jordan, the GOAT. Yes, he's the GOAT. Stop it. All right, Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. Manny got on base again 4 times. Big night for him. And lately, it's just been professional baseball being played by Manny Machado. And these two guys carry this team almost every night, but everything was looking great. You know what I'm saying? The Padres are celebrating. It was an awesome night. Tatis, as I mentioned, hit a home run, looking at his hand like, no, bro, you ain't human. I think this is the play on which Cronenworth threw the ball away. Yes, it is. Maybe his cleats blinded him. I know that was a cheap shot. Not a nice thing to say, Jim. Come on. Really, you know, and you feel bad for Suarez. I'm not going to throw. But look at this guy right here. Look at this man. That's him on third base after the leadoff triple in the bottom of the 8th. He would soon go plateward to score what I thought would be the insurance run in this game. And what a night for Jackson Merrill. Action Jackson, Merrill Madness, Merrill Mania, whatever you want to call it. Name him yourself. This is the dude. He's a generational talent. He's got all the tools, and he flashed them tonight. Look at that. Look at that barrel being lined up on that ball. Look at the stance. Look at the arms, the symmetry, the geometry, everything perfect there from Jackson Merrill. What an unbelievable night for him. Here he is scoring all the way from first base on a throwing error by the pitcher, on a tapper out to the mound. You know what I mean? There's a throwing error. It goes down the right field line. He just never stopped running. And look at full speed into the PD. He did the PD into third base as well tonight on the triple. There he is scoring that run. And that is not like regular soft dirt like you're thinking at a Little League field. No. That's 1,000 rock hard pebbles that he's diving on right there. And then let's see. One more thing I wanted to show you guys here. Where is, oh, look at this. Look at this, man. Come on. He did 2 of these tonight. Man. Jackson Merrill did 1 going to his left and 1 going to his right. He made another one coming in. I mean, he just is unbelievable. But the one that he made, and this is not that one, but the one that he made, and I'm going to see if there's a picture of it. I don't know if I can pull it up for you or show it to you at this point anyway, but he made one tonight when you think about him coming in straight away from center field. And this was a guy, I mean, look, full dead sprint, coming dead on. The hardest ball to judge for a center fielder is one right at you. Right fielder, they slice away from you. Left fielder, they hook away from you toward either line. You can read them going to your left or your right based on your a lot easier. Center fielder going to your left, going to your right. You have to read the ball off the bat right away. It might be coming straight away. It might have a hook. It might have a slice. But the hardest thing to do for any center fielder, the hardest thing to do by far in my book, you have to ask Merrill because nothing looks hard to him, but coming straight in on a ball or going straight back. How many times do you see it in high school ball and college ball, even in the majors, and especially in the lower levels, the younger levels of the game? How many times do you see someone come in first and have that ball go over their head? That's the cardinal sin. You're taught from day one. Do not let that ball get over your head, no matter what. So everybody's taught to take a half a step back and put that weight on your back heel of one of your feet first before you go racing in. Merrill didn't do that on this ball. He just got the immediate jump and took off like the starter pistol for a track meet. That was the sound of the crack of the bat was the starter pistol. He instinctively knew where the hell that ball was going and coming straight in on it. What a kid, what a player, what a hitter, what an outfielder, what a career this is going to be. Knock on wood, bar an injury or anything like that. But this kid is super special. And by the way, I just want to say a shout out to King real quick. All you want to be is Diggy down with the King. Michael King, he pitched better than what he got tonight. You know, that squeeze job by the home plate ump that led to the 2-run homer should have been a solo shot, probably should have been out of the inning and been working on a shutout, but not a lot of margin for error in King starts this year. He lost a 1-0 game. So he didn't get the loss tonight. Let me just give you real quick the official Here we go. The official. So Suarez gets the loss. Burke gets the win. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, see if I missed anything in the recap. It was the Taylor Ward grand slam in the 9th inning after Suarez walked 4 in a row. Man, oh man, his first blown save of the year, had converted all 18. His ERA was 0.50, and now it's 3. But then Alec Jacob comes in and gives up the grand slam. You know what I'm saying? But he struck out Soler first, so your hope is up. All he needs is a force there. Zach Neto with a 2-run homer for the Angels. That's the one I was talking about where King got squeezed with the strike zone first. All right, I got to get out of here. They're going to kill me, but I'm having so much fun with you, and Javi's traveling this week, so I'm picking up a little of the slack too. Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Be back tomorrow, same time, maybe a little earlier, but Cease on the mound, and Dylan pitched great in New York last time out, so we'll be here tomorrow night. Game starts at 6:40. And we'll hope that Dylan Cease can get the Pods back in the win column. Best case scenario would be Robert Suarez in a 1-run game right back out there tomorrow night with a 1-2-3 9th inning and wrap it up. This was my headline. I'll leave you on this right here. This is my headline. Jackson in action. Padres 5, Angels 3. I made it in. Look at that slide into the dish to beat that throw. Scoring from first on a throwing error from a pitcher on a comebacker. In the same game in which he made diving plays all over center field. And oh, yeah, he had 3 hits, his 7th consecutive multi-hit game. He had a triple, a run scored, and an RBI. Jackson Merrill is our star of the game. All right, before we get on out of here, I want to say what's up. Zenocan. Yeah, Merrill was the guy tonight for sure. Yeah, if Tatis wouldn't have dropped that foul ball pop-up, you know what? That wouldn't have. I'll get back to that in a minute. But this is why you bet F5, because of closers like this, man. What a tough – and that's baseball, man. Baseball's a rough go sometime with the closers. Let me take a peek real quick at that play-by-play for you, Nano, and just before we get on out of here, because I want to make sure I get that in there. There's only so much we can fit into the show. But who was hitting when that happened, when Fernando dropped that ball? I'm trying to remember. Any help there? Was it in the 9th? It was, right? It was in the 9th, and who was it that hit that foul pop-up that he dropped? I don't remember. I don't know, but because that would have been – yeah, because Soler would have been the last out of the inning, and who knows? But I don't know. But you know what they say, if my aunt had a should be my uncle. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it is what it is. The Padres, you're going to win some games that, you know, look like you were certainly going to lose. And you're going to lose some games like this. And this is painful. The 4 walks in a row from Suarez, the grand slam in the 9th. One of the worst losses that you could ever imagine happening. But the beautiful thing about baseball, 162, baby. Right back out there the next day. Thank you so much for being the best part of this network. I've gone way too long tonight. Really appreciate it. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Like I said, Javi's traveling this weekend. We're a team, so I'm trying to give you guys some great content. He's got a bunch of stuff coming up as well. On the 15th, he's got a real nice show talking about the surprises of the season so far for the Padres. I'll be here after every game, and we're going to have a lot of fun night in and night out. Thank you for making us your first watch or listen of the day on YouTube, on Roku, on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart. For your second, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's all there is, Padres fans. There is no more. Much love. Back at you, Zanocan, and everybody else in the chat. Smash the subscribe, hit the bell, and keep on coming back for more Locked On Padres podcast and more Padres Postcast right here on this channel of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 9-5 Angels. Game 2 of this 3-game set tomorrow with Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. First pitch at 6:40. We'll be here right after with the postcast. Keep your game tight and your mind right, San Diego. We are